the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the Bristol Flyers Podcast. Proudly sponsored by WebGains. My name's Joel Osborne and his name is Sam Hardy. Sam, how's it going?
It is going well, Jolie. It's been a pretty full-on week, but very, very excited for the week to come. We've got loads happening. Excited for the games at the weekend. There's just loads going on. It's very, very cool.
I can confirm there's a lot going on, and you will find out very shortly why there's a lot going on. But in the meantime, producer Dan's over there as always, pushing the buttons away. Dan, how are you, sir?
Very well, thank you, gentlemen. How are you?
Yep, all good, thank you. Like we say, a very busy week for Bristol Flyers, and the games are coming thick and fast this week because we've got Friday at home to Manchester, we've got Saturday away to Surrey, and then on Tuesday we are away in the European North Basketball League in Poland against Start Lublin.
I'm so excited for all three of those games, actually, Joel. That's going to be quite intense, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm surprised we're actually finding time to record this episode because there's a lot going on this week around the club. So, you're lucky you've managed to get one in. I think I felt bad because we've already missed like 2 episodes this season. So I was like, we have to do a podcast regardless. So, here we are. We get a podcast this week despite us having a really busy week. So, lucky you Flyers fans, eh? Sam, it was defeat to Surrey Scorchers last weekend. Did you watch that game?
I can confirm that I watched it and I hated it, Joel.
Yeah. Dan, did you watch that game at all?
I missed it, but I saw the result. I was shocked, but it happens, doesn't it? It's sport. It happens.
It is sport. We'll talk about that game in a bit more detail, but right now it is time for us to introduce this week's guest. And this week we are very pleased to be joined by none other than Bristol Flyers forward Leslee Smith in the house. Les, how's it going?
I'm good, man. How you guys doing?
Yeah, boy, doing well. How's the week's training going? Going all good?
Going pretty well, to be honest. Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Been a really good week so far.
Now, funny story here, Sam. I've been asking Les for a few weeks now to come on the podcast, and he's like, yeah, I'll come on. But basically, he was like, because he got his hair cut done last week, he was like, okay, now is the week to do it. I've just had my hair done. So make sure you get the shot there, producer Dan, of Leslie's fresh trim.
Couple days old, but it's still worth it.
You're looking fresh, Les. You take a lot of time to get your hair done. How many times a season, you reckon?
For my hair, I usually takes I do it like once a month. I like to let my hair breathe, but usually I get a little retwist, relock, and like once a month. And then right after that, I try to get a fresh lineup and a fresh fade, just to make sure I'm good for the weekend. People take pictures and stuff, so sometimes I want to look good.
Go get it right for Start Lublin on Tuesday.
That's
right.
it.
Yeah, for sure.
How often do you wash your hair? Just out of curiosity, do you wash your braids?
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Like some people leave it a long time, don't they?
I wait until I take it out because with locks it's a little different.
Yeah.
So I sweat a lot too. So it's like I'll wash it very often whenever I get the chance, but when it's out, not when it's in twists. So when I take my hair out is when I do the washing.
Sweat is just nature's condition, is what I heard. You're fine, bro.
Les, this is your second season of your second spell back with us after your mini retirement, so to
hiatus.
How are you finding it now? Year 2 of your second spell with us.
It's good. It's good to be back again. Last year it was me getting my feet wet and coming back in the game after taking 2 years off, playing around a lot of good players and just getting back up to speed. This year is more like trying to just get back to myself, do things that I'm used to doing and just helping the team, get further than we did last year.
And have you been recruiting any new members to the SCAT team? Because of course, last time we had you on the pod, the CEO of the SCAT team. A lot of the players, a lot of the members of the SCAT team departed last season, so you got to recruit new members of staff.
They're all over, man. They got to go out and branch out and do their thing, man. That's that's the beauty of basketball. You get to be teammates one day, and then the next year, the next season, they go out and they're doing their own thing. So shout out to all the SCAT members. They know who they are. I ain't got to say, but right now there's a few letter of intents out. I told TJ to look out for a letter of intent, Trey John. After that game when he had like 27, I think he made 8 threes.
Yep, 7 threes it was.
7 threes. So I say a letter of intent is coming in the mail, man. Look out for it.
Do you stamp the letter with a nice waxy clothes on it or not?
Nah, it's just a letter. I ain't got nothing special yet, but yeah, he got a letter coming in, and he better sign.
Yeah. Well, for any of the new listeners to the podcast, you are the CEO of the SCAT team. Just give us the new listeners of the pod. Just give us a quick rundown as to what is the SCAT team and what is it if you've got the SCAT.
You know, the SCAT is like it's based on shooting. So obviously that's why I had Jelani on the team last year.
Oh yes,
Jelani lighted up, right? So it's based on shooting, and I look for guys that can really shoot the ball. And you know, once it goes in the rim, and it doesn't hit the rim, it's just all net. I call it a SCAT. So if you look at shots, like when shots go in, it's like, oh, that's a SCAT.
Yeah,
it didn't touch nothing. So
like that sound of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like SCAT, you know. So it's kind of like, you know, something like that. But I'm the CEO because I had to, you know, when I hit mines, you see it's all net too. So that's why they call me the CEO.
So TJ is perfect for the SCAT team. He hits a lot.
Tevin is an affiliate. He don't really want to be on the team, but he you know, me and him got a good. You see, we got our little handshake and all that. So he's an affiliate, man. I rock with Tev.
Yeah, I did see a handshake.
Yeah, me and Tev, we got our little handshake. So Tev definitely is an affiliate of the SCAT team. He don't want to fully sign. He got the letter, but he don't want to fully sign. So I said, you know what, it's all good, man. Take your time with it, man.
A few things this year that have made me happy. One of your plays of the week was the backboard putback. You know how close you were to breaking that.
I was trying.
Were you trying? Was that what you were trying?
Yeah, I actually was. But I forgot the rim, like it doesn't stick. Like it comes down. Mm-hmm. So when I pulled, I was like, oh, I got to let go. But yeah, I mean, that's like the second time I did that. Yeah,
obviously you did it in the playoffs last season at the same venue in Manchester.
Same.
If you watch it, if you've not seen it, he literally, I think, was it it wasn't a pass, was it? It was a miss layup.
Both was misses. The first one and the second one was a miss.
So I think it might well have been Keedy or TJ.
Keedy, it was
Keedy who missed a layup. I actually think he got fouled, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, he did for sure. But it turned into a great play.
Huge putback. The whole hoop, if you watch it, kind of bounces and nearly falls back down again. So yeah, I was buzzing about that. But yeah, great play.
And obviously, you know, you've talked about some of these great plays. Like you've really had to step up. You know, your minutes are up this year, and I guess partly of that is down to the fact that, of course, Christian Cunningham, like he had that injury at the start of the season, and he never really got to play with us. Of course, we managed to bring in Royal Graham Bell.
That was a big pickup. Yeah,
exactly. How are you finding that adjustment for you, having to step up in like these players' absences?
I mean, that's what I'm here for. You know, to fill spots that needed. You know, playing the 4. I mean, I played the 4. You know, when I was here in my previous year, so it's nothing new to me. It's just really good that I can do that. So it's like we're not really missing anything. But like I said, it was just something different because last year I didn't play any 4, and this year, in the start of this year, I didn't really play any 4. So just the absence of Christian and even just bringing in Rowe, and he was out for a little bit. Mm-hmm. I had to fill that spot and kind of just keep the flow of the offense, you know, and just kind of just fill that role and try to add as much value as I can, you know, in the absence of these guys, and still playing the 5, you know, when Brad needs a break. So I'm playing these both positions, and I'm trying to do different things and learning the plays at both positions. So it's a bit difficult, but because I know how to play that position, it wasn't really hard to adjust. Mm-hmm. But I like it because, one, it gives me more reps for me to get that rhythm back, and I feel like I'm getting back to myself just because of that. So, I mean, even though it's unfortunate that our guys had to be out for that, in a way, it's still good because I'm able to get more rhythm.
Yeah, and I imagine a huge part of that is looking after your body as well, because of course, you know, yourself, you are one of the older members of the team, and you had a mini retirement as well. So this is your second season. Are you finding it easier this season because, of course, you know, last season you were coming in off the back of those, you know, 2 years off, but you know, now this year coming into the season being in game shape, are you feeling that out there on the court?
It is a bit easier this season because last year, like you said, I was out of shape. My body was not ready for basketball at all. And this summer, I made sure I take the time to, you know, really eat well, make sure I'm prepared physically. So it was a completely different approach this year than last year. It took me maybe 3 or 4 months last year for my body to adjust, my legs, my knees, to get used to the impact again. This year is like I just hit the ground running. You know, I was prepared. You know, I was just ready this year. You know, it's completely different. So it was ready from a mental and a physical aspect. So like last year, I didn't know I was going to be here. It just came out of nowhere. me and coach had a conversation, and he's like, let's do it. So he knew the condition I was in, so he was just trying to get me into that. So this year is a little bit more, okay, you already had a year off. I mean, you already had a year in. Now we need you to do more. And, I'm doing that right now.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely seeing it. We mentioned the putback dunk away at Manchester. You had a big dunk against Surrey at the weekend as well.
Throwback right there.
It's from the years back, Les. I remember the days you put those putback dunks on Worcester and the poster dunks in Worcester during your first spell with us as well.
Yeah. The thing with dunking, with me, is just like, because I've had history with injury, sometimes I tend to not want to do that. But, if I go out there with that fear, then I won't be myself. So I think I try to go out not trying to fear anything like that, or not trying to think, I didn't play for 2 years. A lot of that was last year. Oh, I didn't play for 2 years. I don't know if I could still do it.
Yeah.
So now it's more like, okay, I'm here now. Let's just go. Be yourself. Do your thing. So, me having these putbacks, me dunking, pump faking and going to the lane, driving, like, it's just me being more fearless pretty much, and just playing the game I know.
Yeah. How does one get in shape? So you mentioned because basketball fitness, game fitness is a lot different than like your average Joe just going to the gym to get in shape. Do you know what I mean? So talk us through that whole process. Like, what are you doing in the build up to the season? What kind of things are you working on just so you can get yourself to that point where you can perform at your best when the season's underway?
For me, when I'm training, I always think about game-like situations that I'm going to be in. So I want to make sure I'm getting reps based on the position I'm playing. So pick and pop situations, pick and roll situations, making sure I'm getting good reps hard. Obviously, with the conditioning, it's going to be different than playing live games. But just going out, doing runs, going on the beach, running on the beach, swimming. But most of it came from being on the court, doing stuff on the court with a basketball in your hand, going against defenders. I think that's the best way to get in shape, because now you're getting reps doing basketball drills versus just going out and just running. Because when you get to a basketball court and you play against people, you're going to have somebody pushing on you, and it's going to bring a different element of resistance. So now that's why you see guys are a lot more tired in the first half of the season or the first couple of months in the season, because they don't have that resistance really. They're just doing a lot of dummy offense pretty much. There's no defenders and none of that stuff. So when they do get defenders on them, now their body has to adjust to that. So I think with me is just trying to replicate that as much as I can prior to coming into the season, so that when I do go up against resistance, I'm not as tired and I'll be able to adjust faster.
Are you noticing the difference in the style of play between what you've played the last few years in the British Basketball League and what you're playing now in the European North Basketball League?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's completely different. But the European basketball is a completely different system. The way guys play, a lot more experienced guys. I think in the BBL, you get a lot of first-year, second-year guys. So the speed of the game is a lot faster. When you think about it, you get a lot of young guys coming out of college, first year, second year. They run a lot, high pace. Especially with our offense, we move around a lot. We don't really have too much of a traditional offense that some of the teams may run. So we have a lot of movement going on. And with the European basketball, it's very structured. The people that's on the court, they all do something very specific. And the stuff that the plays that are designed is to get an action for a certain person on the court. So it's very systematic. So you got to defend a lot. I mean, if you see how we was playing against, what's the team?
Juventus?
Juventus, the Latvia.
The Bulgarian team?
No, the one.
Lithuanian team.
Yeah, the Lithuanian team.
Yeah, Juventus, yeah.
Yeah, you seen all the screens and all the movement. So it's a lot of stuff like that's very systematic, trying to get mismatches and stuff like that. Whereas here it's more like, okay, it's high pace. We're trying to get off the rim, go score as fast as we can, stuff like that. So it's very different, but they both contribute to each other, because teams like the Juventus teams, they play a lot like London, very systematic, run a lot of plays. You have to fight through 3-4 screens. They have guys at all positions that can shoot. So it helps, playing the European game. So when we do come back and we play teams in the BBL, we have a different feel of how the game is played from a higher level, and it definitely helps a lot.
Sorry, I won't make you do a forfeit there for saying those. I was about to say it then. Those 3 letters. It only applies to Sam.
Oh yeah.
But we have a rule on the show, Les,
God.
where it's not for guests, so don't worry. It's not for guests. It's only for us. It's only for me and Sam
Apologize.
and producer Dan over there. But we don't say the B, or the L together
I
in
forgot,
the
I've been
3.
here long as that's what I'm used to, and it's just like it just flowed out, man.
Yeah. Of course, you mentioned the European games. Big one coming up next week off to Start Lublin, and that's the team that finished 3rd in the European North Basketball League last season. How much are you looking forward to that one?
I'm always looking forward to it. Each game, I think regardless if it's the British Basketball League or the European basketball competition, there's always going to be a different element. They have different players, guys that could do different things. So you just never really know until we start prepping for that and start looking at film. And then when you get to the game, you feel the difference. Especially when we went to Bulgaria, we felt the difference in the game, the intensity, and that raised our level of play. So you never really know what you're going to get until the day of the game. But, in preparation, you can kind of see how the game is going to be played, what guys like, the tendencies, the plays they run, what we need to look for, stuff like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. But right now we got 2 games ahead that we need to focus on.
I was going to say the preparation comes thick and fast for these games. You got to prep for Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, like day off at some point.
It's been a busy 2 months for us, to be honest. Yeah, it's been a very busy 2 months for us. I think we're doing pretty well. Unfortunately, we have a couple guys down, but the spells that we put on during that couple months, it just shows the kind of team we are when we have full strength, and that we could beat anybody in this league.
Yeah. Well, of course, Tuesday's game, it is available on the Bristol Flyers YouTube channel. And as promised, we've actually been working on a little feature. Haven't we, producer Dan?
Yes, we have.
Which is our guide to Lublin. And now, before we play this guide to Lublin, just a bit of context for the listener. For every game we play in the European North Basketball League this season, producer Dan and the team at Brownvox kindly put together a guide, which basically is everything you need to know about our opponents and other things as well in around 60 to 90 seconds. And Dan, you've been working on this one this week. Before we hear it, how did you find the edit?
To be honest, it was much easier to find stuff out about this week because Poland. You're going to be going, aren't you, Sam, to Lublin in Poland? So there's lots to look at in terms of what is there to do in Lublin. There was plenty of choice, whereas when we were looking before in Lithuania and Bulgaria, not so much to pick from, but this time there was lots to choose from.
I'm excited because we need to actually, we're taking a few partners out, me and Steve Devereaux, and we've not fully planned exactly what it's going to look like yet, but we got some dinners reservations done, Joel, so it should be all right.
Well, I tell you what, mate, if you need something to do, have a listen to our handy guide to everything you need to know about Start Lublin.
Okay, Flyers fans, it's time to pack that suitcase because we're hitting the road again. This time, we're off to Poland and the 9th biggest city, which is Lublin. Now, have you heard about the goat? No, not you, Raf. There is a golden goat situated in Lublin, which is a great meeting place when you get there. There's a long story as to why there is a goat, but basically an artist accidentally painted it onto the coat of arms or something. Lublin is also home to over 30 festivals throughout the year, including the Scenes from Shakespeare in English Festival. Oh man, that's such a shame we aren't there for that. It sounds really good. To be there or not to be there, I think we'll all pass. Famous people from Lublin include Poland World Cup captain Jacek Bak and chess grandmaster Johan Zukatort. Finally, I suppose we should big up our opponents for this evening. Start Lublin are into their 10th season in the Polish top flight, and whilst they haven't won the big one yet, they've reached second in 2020, competed in the Champions League the year after, and reached the final of the Cup competition the last 2 seasons. Tough opposition for sure, but you watch the Flyers finish Start.
Amazing.
That is so good.
The Flyers finish Start was a personal favourite of mine. Watch the Flyers finish Start. Dan, that was amazing.
I like the bit the way you say he painted a goat onto the coat of arms or something.
Well, there's a funny story about it, but we don't. Who cares really?
Well, Les, now you're well informed about our opponent Start Lublin. Are you going to go visit the goat statue? Do you reckon out there?
Probably not.
I don't think you would. I was just gutted we didn't make the Shakespeare Festival. That sounded really good.
I know, what a shame, right? It takes place in March, so unfortunately, none of us get the chance to go and watch some Shakespeare. Oh.
Good Shakespeare puns in there as well.
You fancy yourself a bit of Shakespeare, Les?
Never been.
No, it's not. It's not a place, Les. It's,
no, I mean, like, isn't it something you go watch?
but it's like a festival, a Shakespeare festival, isn't it?
Oh.
But you're right. Shakespeare wrote loads of plays, and so you've never seen any of his.
No.
You never
Yeah.
seen any of Shakespeare plays?
I've never been to any cinema like that in theaters. Never. Not my style.
Well, there you go. Well, now you've got stuff to do with the sponsors, Sam.
I mean, yeah. Thanks, Dan. I'm looking forward to all of those things.
Well, I'll tell you what, because like you say, you do have a big group of you heading up to Poland next week, and we want to see your pictures. We want to see your videos across the board. So if you're planning on going to Poland with these lot to watch Start Lublin take on Bristol Flyers, tag us in your pics on social medias at Bristol Flyers. Send them through to us, and maybe, Sam, we'll run the best ones on next week's episode. I'll tell you what, I actually got to speak to you about next week's episode because...
What's that?
You're all away.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm here. So that could be interesting.
You're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to do on your own, Joel, and I'll get some stuff from Lublin for you.
Me and producer Dan over there, I think we'll have a nice little competition. Will we, Dan?
Yeah, we'll manage. I'm sure just me and you in here, just talking about everybody else.
We'll have a production meeting at some point after this episode, and we'll talk about what we're going to do for that. But
I love that you keep mentioning production meetings in all these little podcasts. We've literally never had a production meeting this whole time.
This literally is a production meeting right now we're having on the
Nice.
pod. So,
Like that.
So yeah, we don't really plan it, but we kind of do plan it a little bit. So there you go. So yeah, if you're going to Poland, send us your pics because we want to see them. And if you're not going to Poland, you can watch the game right here on the Bristol Flyers YouTube channel because I'm going to be here in the studio alongside Gareth Till, maybe a special guest, TBC, maybe not a special guest. And we're going to do a half-hour build-up show right here in the studio, and we're going to be commentating on the game right over in that corner. You can't see it on camera, but there's a little pair of chairs and a little monitor where we put a headset on, just talk, see what we say on the screen. So yeah, it'd be great. Also, bear in mind, one thing we do have to cover is we're also doing a Flyers TV broadcast. Well, I'll get onto it later on in the
we'll talk about
on
it
the
news.
pod, but we're doing it for Friday's game against Manchester, so watch that one as well. Les, before we get to our quick fire questions segment, we have a part of the podcast where we haven't really done this with you, actually, I don't think. It's Run It Back. We want to learn more about our players and how they first got into playing basketball. So we want to find out more about how you first started. Do you remember how old you were when you first started playing?
Can't remember the age. It was early teens for sure. But I was into a lot of different sports. Baseball mainly. I did a bit of track.
We've had a few players that have played baseball. I think Brad played baseball as a kid as well. Yeah, we had Brad on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. He used to play baseball as a kid. Yeah.
What position? Did he tell you what position?
No,
he played?
here you go. Have a little conversation with Brad next time you see him.
The guy to clean up. no, not like that.
The cleaner.
The cleanup hitter.
Oh, okay. I don't read.
So they stack the bases and then he cleans up.
The fourth person, I think that's who that is. Because if 3 people land on get on the base, he's like the fourth hitter. He can get like what's it called? I forgot.
A home run.
Yeah, home run, but it's like I forgot what the name is, man.
What?
When everybody's
Fully
on base.
stacked home run, whatever
Yeah.
that's called.
You get like 4 runs at one time.
Come on, Dan, do your research,
Come
mate.
on, Dan, let's go. Quick.
I'm looking it up now.
There we go. But while he does that, obviously you played baseball.
Yeah.
Any other sports as a kid?
Baseball, track. No, I couldn't do football. You know what's crazy?
Go on. Let's hear it.
I hated to run.
Yeah.
As a young. So when I saw that all they did in football, soccer, American was running, I said, I'm not doing that.
Basketball's a lot of running as well.
but
though.
it's kind of like
Short running.
it's short running and everybody's kind of involved. And with football, it's like whoever has the ball and the person closest to him, maybe a couple other people around, those are the people running. So the other guy is just waiting for it to come back this way. So I'm just like, I'm not doing all this running, man. That's why I stopped track. But
is
no,
so
the reason I
funny.
stopped track was I got smoked in a 200, and everybody was cheering me on because I was ahead in the beginning, but I just heard all the footsteps like behind me, and people just start passing me.
You went out too hard.
No, because in the 200 you got people that start ahead,
Yeah.
and
It's
then
around the corner, isn't
it evens out at around the 100 meter mark.
So were you on the top
So
end?
yeah, I was on the top end and I was winning. So I looked up in the crowd and my school was like, yeah, go. And then by the time we got around the 100 mark, man, people just start passing me. That was the last time I ran.
I never did Leslie Smith run 200 meters again.
I just did like shot put, long jump, high jump, javelin. I just did all the other stuff that didn't involve too much sprinting.
How tall are you now, and how tall were you when you started playing basketball?
I don't know my height now. Some days I'm 6'7", some days I'm 6'8". I guess depending on the shoes and how I feel.
I think we've listed you as 6'8" on the website.
He's wearing his docs.
Yeah. It depends on how I feel. I might feel 6'9", but I think I'd say around 6'7", 6'8". I think that.
Yeah, whenever I see you listed as 6'9", I'm like, oh, that's a bit generous.
Because I don't know. Because I stand next to Brad. Isn't Brad like 6'10"?
Brad's 6'11".
11, yeah.
And when I stand next to Brad, he doesn't seem that far from me.
That's because you got your hair up in ponytails,
No, man.
isn't it?
I'm looking at him. I'm like, you don't look as tall as you say. Maybe I'm taller than I am, but
Yeah. Because a lot of players get into playing basketball as a kid because they are tall kids. Were you always a tall kid growing up?
I was always a tall kid. I think what happened with me transitioning to basketball was because I played baseball and we had this recreational field where it was a baseball field and the basketball course was right next to it. So it's like when we're finished with baseball, we'd always just go to the basketball court. So it was just back and forth from those. And as I got older, I liked basketball more because with baseball, it's like you have to wait for your turn.
Yeah.
You know, it was a lot of waiting around. I was like, I like basketball. I'm involved. I can get rebound. I could shoot. It was a lot going on. It was more fun. And as I played it, it came more natural to me. And, you know, I just enjoyed it so much that I kept working on it. I just started watching basketball games. I started watching some of my favorite players. Like at the time was Dwayne Wade, Kevin Garnett, Amari Stoudemire, people who's not as popular. But, I mean, these other guys are popular. But I watched a lot of those guys because, you know, Dwayne Wade, when I watched him, it was more for like the footwork. He did the Euro step, the spin. So I developed those moves. I worked on those. Kevin Garnett, he had like a little mid-range shot. You know, so I liked that about his game. And then Amari Stoudemire, he just dunked everything. You know, so I used to dunk everything when I was growing up, right? So these guys, I just kind of watched them a lot, and they just helped me become the player I am now. And just the skill, a lot of my friends, because they were smaller than me, they were guards, and we played a lot of 3-on-3. So they always give me the ball and be like, do something, you know? So because of that, I actually started working on my ball handling. If you look before every game, you see I work on my ball handling. It's just something I always do, and I always done. And because for me, I feel like you never know what situation you'll be in a game where you might need to handle the ball. I mean, perfect example, I was at the three-point line, pump fake, you know, whatever. Even sometimes I bring it up, they'll look pass or a backdoor pass. It's like I always worked on my skills. So it's just turned me into the player I am today, pretty much.
We've seen that a few times. I mean, Les, like you've seen some passes from Les last season. He like passes like a guard. Like you see like the backdoor passes. Like I remember one to VJ last season and Sheffield.
Yeah, from half court.
Yeah, I remember stuff like that. Like you have like the ability to like, and that's
somebody else. Who was it? I did that in the game.
It was TB.
No,
it was TB.
Last year,
The backdoor.
You're doing this after, weren't you?
Why didn't I catch that? That was so cool. That was cool because it was me and Jelani doing that. I was like, that's such a cool moment, man. I was supposed to catch that.
Yeah, that was.
Shout out to TB. He's doing pretty good where he at now.
Is he? What's he doing?
He's in Czech Republic, in Nürnberg.
He's doing pretty good. He's doing really good.
Well, he's the weirdest player I've ever seen. Like finishes stuff like that you can't even believe.
Weird in a good way, you mean?
It's like
weirdest player I've ever
you don't
seen.
know what he's gonna do.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You can't. You're not there going, okay, I'm just gonna try and block this layup. He'll do something, spin around. I don't know what he does.
He caught me one time in practice. I thought I played good defense. I walled up. I'm like, yeah, I got him. And then he just scooped it under my arms and just laid it up. I was like, how do you make these, man? He's good.
Yeah,
it's the length of his arms as well, wasn't it? You reach.
And he doesn't stop spinning. He doesn't stop pivoting. He'll pivot this way until he find a little space where he can get the shot up, and then he'll do it.
Almost taking one too many because you're expecting it, and then he just kind of the last one.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's good to see him doing really well as well because he's absolutely killing it out there in Czech Republic right now. Les, let's chat about your college career a little bit because of course you spent some time at Southern Methodist and then you spent 2 seasons at Nebraska. How did that whole experience? How did you find that whole experience at college?
SMU was a little different. I wanted to, because I was in Texas, so I wanted to stay close to people I already know. I was dating at the time. I wanted to stay close to my girlfriend and all that stuff. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Didn't work out. Anyway, so I wanted to stay in Texas. The coach at the time was Matt Doherty.
I know he's your He's your chaplain.
That's funny, right? Yeah, because I was like, wait, I seen Matt Doherty on the. I was like, wait, Matt, the old coach from SMU is my chaplain. But nah, it is. But yeah, and I just stayed there for 2 years. It was different. I got hurt that year, so I redshirted, and it was pretty tough for me coming back the next year. And I think Larry Brown that came in, and he just wiped house, man. He cleaned house. He changed players. With me, it was a little different. I don't really want to go into too much detail. We just had a few meetings back and forth, and I told him, I was like, man, look, if you don't want me here, tell me. Don't have me back and forth here coming to meetings. And he was like, he think I should just do it. I was like, okay, you know. So I kind of gambled on myself. What was happening at the time was there's a lot of mid-majors that was reaching out. Usually they want to get their hands on a D1 player. It's usually something they always want to do once a D1 transfer goes into the portal. And I was like, man, look, I got 2 more years. Or 3 more years. I said, I'll just go to JUCO, play. And I said, wherever I end up is where I belong as a player. Because I didn't want to settle for a smaller school if I know I'm better than that, right? So I said, I'll go to JUCO, play, and if I end up back at a school like SMU, that's where I belong. If I end up at a smaller school, that's where I belong. But I kind of gambled on myself. And then a year later, we actually won our league in JUCO. It was Seward County. I actually hit the game-winning shot. There's a picture. I have a picture of me, like, fading, hitting this game-winning shot. I'll show you. I'll send you the picture one of these days. And, yeah, it was a good experience for me. And I got recruited to Nebraska, and it was just, like, hands down, I just went there. I didn't even think twice.
Yeah. So that was a game-winning shot to win the league. Like, had to win that game to win the league. It was to win,
yeah, because playoffs came after that. But this shot, we played against it was the first and the second team. And it was to win. Who would be the champions of the season?
Nice.
And I hit the game-winning shot. Yeah,
yes, so, amazing. Yeah, and you ended up at Nebraska, which isn't the Big Ten. Like, it's one of the best leagues in college basketball.
Yeah, it was tough.
You must have been going up against guys that are now in the NBA,
few guys.
Night in, night out. Who would have been your year?
D'Angelo Russell. He was tough to guard.
Oh my
man.
gosh.
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell, Jayshawn Tate. I played against Sam Decker.
Oh, he's Wisconsin Badgers, of course.
Yeah, Sam Decker. He had a few guys that went to the NBA. Him, Frank Kaminsky. I think Frank Kaminsky is still in the league. I think he played for the Hornets. This other big guy, I forgot his name. He was in, where was he? I think he was in Indiana. Really, yeah, he was good. I can't remember his name. He was tough to guard. But yeah, a lot of guys that I played against, they're in the NBA right now or just in a really good league somewhere overseas.
Yeah, that's massive. And because it's crazy, isn't it, how everyone goes to different places. But that's like one of the toughest places. So you've probably got the best experience there to prep you for a professional basketball career. Yeah. 2 years in the Big Ten.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely the level of play is very intense. Think about defense. We play defense for 24, roughly like 16 seconds with the half court rule. In college, I don't think there's an 8-second call.
Is there not?
I don't think there is. And I think the shot clock is like 32 seconds.
It's like 30 seconds.
So you play an extra like 8 seconds, 10 seconds defense.
And would it be quite run and gun, or would it be quite a lot of waiting through?
Yeah, you got because it's going to be hard for you to just get an easy shot because of how much they stress defense. So you might play defense for a full 24, 28 seconds.
That's tough.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, I think that's why the pace of the game in this league is like it is, because they're so used to playing hard. The first year guys, the second year guys, they're so used to playing against a long defense period and tough defenses. And the pace of the game is different because now they know they only got 16 seconds to score, this and that. So it speeds up the game. So it helps prepare you because we're so used to playing defense for such a long period of time. So that coming out here and playing defense for 10 seconds, it's like, that's nothing. So it definitely helps.
Yeah.
Is Nebraska like kind of the middle of nowhere, or is it actually quite cool?
Yeah, it was in Lincoln, Nebraska. We were like celebrities out there, man. It was like, because the sports team was the only team within the area. So all the football, this American football, would be packed. We call it tailgating.
Yeah.
I mean, they would have the roads shut down, man, just for a game. I think the arena filled 100,000.
Would you go and watch them as well?
I did a few games. Yeah, I mean, I can't miss that. Big Ten Nebraska football program was like one of the best. You won a lot of championships, so they have that history there, and so that's why tailgating and game days is like so huge because of the history, and that actually helped basketball because once we built the new arena my first year, so that was kind of a good reason for me to go there too because they was playing in the old arena, but when I was coming there, they had a brand new arena.
How big was that?
I think it seated about 28,000.
Oh my gosh, that's bigger than Ashton Gate.
Yeah, it was huge. I think
it
seated close. I think around 28 to 30K, and it was full every game.
Wow,
sold out.
And was the 100,000 for the football sold out every game as well?
People, it would be sold out, full in the arena, and people are still outside tailgating. The entire Nebraska came to the games. Everybody in Nebraska came.
There's nothing else to do there, mate.
Yeah, this is like the celebrities. This is like the NFL team. This is like the NBA team for them.
But the guys don't get paid.
Not now they do. But
oh no, they do now. But back then,
I wish I was in school still. Getting all this money now, man.
Yeah, but they'd find ways, wouldn't they? You'd have nice shoes, didn't you? How was your car? Nice car.
Nah, it wasn't nothing like that, man. We had to take care of ourselves. I mean, they had stuff that they give us, sponsors. Obviously, with Adidas, I was our sponsor, so we would get a lot of shoes. If we needed new shoes, hey, we need some new shoes, socks, tights, underwear, stuff like that. But it wasn't like they were just giving us stuff because they wanted to. It was just within our sponsorship and what they allowed.
Yeah, fair.
If you ever got any old Nebraska gear, mate, any old T-shirts and stuff, just feel free to chuck them my way.
I still have. Nah, I can't give you this. I still have my jersey. I have a few jerseys from back in Nebraska.
Oh wow,
yeah.
Nice.
I tried to. You know what? I tried to wear it, and I was like, I was smaller. I thought I was smaller, and I was actually smaller then. I was surprised because I thought I lifted a lot of weights when I was in school compared to now. So I tried it on when I was home, and it couldn't even get past my chest, man. I was like, oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know I was that small in college.
It's because you've been lifting on the weights, that's what
Maybe
it is.
that's what it was. I don't know.
Yeah, but also you genuinely have had years of more lifting and just
True,
you develop it, don't you?
But I scaled back. The kind of lifting I do now versus how I lifted in college is completely different.
But I remember your first time here a few years back. You had your body shape was different then as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But that's what I meant when I said the 2 years not playing versus playing. Your body is going to change. I always go back to the story with Michael Jordan when he played baseball, and his trainer said his muscles adjusted to the sport he was playing, the baseball sport. So when he came back to play basketball, that's why he couldn't finish the season as strong as he started, because the muscles wasn't ready. They weren't developed yet for him to continue to have the playoff runs as he usually have. And that's why the next year, once he had the time to practice and train, he went on and had another three-peat because his body adjusted again, right? So similar situation to me. I'm not saying I'm Michael Jordan, but I just say, because I didn't play basketball for 2 years, my body lost the fast twitch muscles it needed to be able to come out and have these the quick reactions that I usually do, and this jumping ability that I used to have and all that stuff. So my body needed time to adjust.
Yeah, and look at him now, eh? Back in the Bristol Flyers uniform like he never left.
And the hair now as well, bro.
Yeah, I got good hair.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah, trying to be like you, son. Good long hair.
You gonna braid yours soon, Sammy?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you look quite good, I reckon.
Get Jay on to come and sort me out, yeah.
Yeah, we should, 100%. That'd be great. Les, thanks for that chat. That was really good. It's good to get a little bit of insight into our players, because we've never really done that before, I don't think. It's like digging into, like your backstory, and I'm sure the fans are really interested in hearing that as well. So
Big time.
Great stuff. Right, it is time for us, Les, to get to our quickfire questions segment. No, there we go. He's going to get the water on board before we do this, because now, Les, you are no stranger to the quickfire questions segment, because you actually did the very first quickfire questions segment.
Did you say the very worst, Joe?
Well, it also
was the worst.
it also was the very worst one, because I don't know if you remember, Les.
We're going to do better today.
Yeah, well, there we go. I don't know if you remember, but you scored a grand total of 5.
5 about how much?
It's just as many as you can do in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So yeah, you scored 5, which is our ultimate worst score we've ever had. Yes.
What was the highest?
11 by...
right, Dan?
It is 11, yeah.
So who was the second worst?
Mike Miller had 11.
the second worst, I think, was 7.
So I got to beat 7.
You got to beat 7.
Well, I think a good place for you to
beat 7.
Yeah, I think a good place for you to start is to finish beat 5.
Yeah.
Let's beat 5 and then we'll go.
I want to beat 7.
Remember, the answers don't matter. Okay, just answer the question.
I'm trying not to think
Just
too much
answer
about
the
it.
question.
30 seconds. Let's go.
Great stuff. Right, so 30 seconds are on the clock. Juice Dan's got the lights over there. Can we get the lights down, please? There we go. Don't get distracted by the clock, Les, because who did we have on the podcast? Was it last week? Someone got distracted by the clock.
Yeah.
Don't know. Anyway, here we go. 30 seconds on the clock, Les. Your time starts now. Who is your biggest inspiration?
My mother.
What is your favourite clothing brand?
Mine. Yeah.
What are you having for dinner tonight?
Ooh. And nothing.
How do you feel about cranberries?
Cranberries. I like the juice.
What noise does a cow make?
I'm not saying it that way.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Of course.
Which celebrity annoys you the most?
Kevin Hart.
What's your go-to party trick?
Dancing.
Xbox or PlayStation? Xbox. There we go. Yeah, I'm quite disappointed you avoided that question about the cows.
Oh, cows.
Yeah.
I thought you said gals.
Oh, I said
That's what I thought you said gals. I'm like, I'm not about to say that.
Do the count now and we'll let it go.
Yeah, let it go. So that count for that
counts,
All right,
yeah.
then how many I get?
1, 2, 3,
count
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9. There we go.
Yeah, I'm not eating anything, y'all. Believe it or not, I'm probably not gonna eat.
Fasting for dinner.
Good effort. Oh, you like the juice of cranberries though?
Yeah, I love cranberry juice.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? Just Dan, get the lights back up, please. Thank you.
I did
And
better.
You
Did
much
You did
better.
much better. That's
Very
yeah,
good.
yeah.
9 is the score to beat now, Les. The next time you come on, you got to try and beat 9.
Keep it
So-
like 9, around 8, 9. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it around there. It's good.
There we go. Right, Sam, it's time for us to get to the news.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Hey, Flyers fans, we want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors, WebGains, who help make this podcast possible. WebGains is an affiliate marketing network who bring businesses and affiliates together to grow and succeed.
The Bristol Flyers are all about teamwork, and that's exactly what WebGains are about too. They're like the assist that helps your business score big.
Are you an aspiring entrepreneur or have a business of your own that sells products online? If so, WebGains is here to help. They connect businesses with top affiliates, from cashback giants like Top Cashback to niche bloggers in your vertical, who can promote your products and services, reaching a wider audience and driving more revenue.
And here's the slam dunk, Flyers fans. WebGains provides you with detailed reports and analytics to track the performance of your affiliate marketing campaigns, making it easy to see results of your hard work and investments.
Whether you're a local business or an international brand, WebGains has the expertise and network to take your marketing efforts to the next level. They're passionate about helping businesses grow, just like we're passionate about our team's success, Sam.
So if you're ready to skyrocket your online presence and drive more sales, visit webgains.com and see how they can assist you in scoring big in the world of affiliate marketing.
That's webgains.com, webgains.com. Give your business the assist it needs with WebGains Affiliate Network.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Right, time for us to take a look at what's been going on around the British Basketball League this week. And we have to start by looking back at the game.
Do we?
On
Do we,
Saturday.
Joel?
Yeah, we've got to
Do
talk,
we have to?
Let's talk about it a little bit. Flyers on the road to Surrey Scorchers, coming up short, 80 points to 75. Disappointing ending to the game. Flyers, they were leading by 3 heading into the final quarter. A pair of back-to-back threes from Paddy at Wang.
Didn't hit anything all game, and then he hits 2 threes right at the end.
It's not one of those ones that's in the scouting report, I can tell you that. You can let Paddy at Wang shoot those threes, and he punished us in the end, which was a tough one. Les, talk to us about the game. What was the mood in the locker room like after that one?
It was a tough one. You know, obviously we lost. The conditions, you know, with the court and all that stuff. I think for us, we allowed that to affect our mental too much, you know, going out thinking about the court and all that stuff, and maybe guys just weren't as locked in as we needed to be. You know, sometimes you got to go out and just say it is what it is. But you know, it was disappointing for us. Not so much in the loss, but just how we performed, because we know we know what we're capable of, and the way that we went out and performed that day is very uncharacteristic, I would say.
Trajan Jacob led the way with 18 points. RGB, 13 points and 7 rebounds on his return from injury. And it's great to have him back because he does so much on the court at both ends. How good is it, Les, for you having Ruel back into the squad?
Yeah, I'm glad he's back. He brings some energy, hustle plays. He gets on the glass. He scores for us. So just having him back is gonna, fill a void that we was missing the last couple of weeks. But yeah, just having him back is really good for us because now we give Raph, extra rest. I get to, go back to what I was doing, and it's gonna help put guys back in positions that they normally play. So, just having him back is definitely going to be a plus.
2 games this weekend we've got to talk about. Manchester Giants are at home on Friday, and then we're back to Surrey Scorchers on Saturday. Les, how's preparations been going in practice this week?
Practice has been good. We haven't really looked at any scouting yet. We know Manchester, we played them before. The focus was just us getting back to the things that, make us the team that we are, these first couple of days. So, definitely looking forward to the games this weekend, but the preparation was more on us getting back to winning ways.
Yeah. Well, big news this week, of course. We announced that Friday's game against the there you are on Manchester Giants against Manchester Giants is available to watch on the Flyers YouTube and not the British Basketball League YouTube. And I can tell you why this is, Sam. Is because the league reached out to us and asked us to, because we have the team here at Bramvox, they reached out to us ahead of the game because in their facility at Ealing they can only stream 2 games at the same time. So there are actually 3 games going on Friday. I can't remember the other 2. There's one on Sky and there's one elsewhere on YouTube as well. So they basically said to us that we can produce it and we can do our full shebang that we do for ENBL, half-hour pre-game build-up here in the studio, and I get to commentate on the Flyers game in the British Basketball League again.
I was absolutely... But you see the comments online about it. People are like,
I haven't seen it.
Does this mean we're going to get to see Joel again? I was like...
No one said that.
No, someone did, 100%. I think it was on Facebook. Someone said, does this... I can't tell you what the voice sounded like because it was written down because I made it sound like... Does this mean we're going to get to see Joel again? No, but that is literally what they were saying. Something along the lines of that.
That sounds nothing like me, Sam. I don't know who that's supposed to be.
I don't know who it was. I can't remember now. But yeah, I promise you, Joel, there's a little comment about you. So.
Oh, cool. I'll go check that out.
Yeah, nice.
So it's going to be half-hour build-up here on Friday. Our coverage will start at 7 p.m. right here in the studio. If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, on Flyers TV, it's going to be on the same YouTube channel. I think the link's already there. We're all set up, ready to go for you. So
nice.
You'll put that one on, and it'll be great. It's awesome. We're also doing a half-an-hour build-up show for Tuesday's game, Start Lublin. Again, this will be right here on the Bristol Flyers YouTube channel, so don't miss out. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all those things that everyone asks you to do to help them grow their audience. Go do that. Yeah, and that, I think, Sam, that is it for this week's news.
You're listening to the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
I'm really looking forward to that, actually, doing a Flyers game again on commentating the British Basketball League game again. I've sort of missed it a little bit.
Man, I said it so much, and I'm not here to just blow your own trumpet, but you're so good at it. So I'm looking... Well, I'm not even going to hear it because I'm going to be there at the game. But
yeah, you're going to be at the game, unfortunately. I'm not going to be at the game either. We're going to be here in the studio, so that'd be interesting.
Fantastic.
A funny one, actually. If you eagle-eyed or eagle-eared of you would have noticed that I've been doing the league games this season on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. I was joined by Raphael Thomas Edwards for the Newcastle Eagles versus who would they play? Manchester Giants game. Yeah.
How'd it go? No, I didn't listen. I wasn't able to. Was it good?
I had a really funny moment, actually. I'll tell you a funny story here. You you go into this little commentary booth in Ealing, and you open the door, and it looks packed, like because you're looking at it from broadcast angle. So we came back from the break. All I'd seen is the packed crowd it was, right? Just before tip off. I was sort of going through. I was like, "Yeah, big sold-out crowd here in the Virtue Motors Arena." And just as I said that, they cut to like a side angle where you could see like a big pocket of empty seats. Oh. And I was like, in my head, I was like, "Maybe not." I said to my producer, I was like, "Maybe not." Sorry about that.
they stitched you up there, mate. They did it on purpose.
I know.
Sabotaging you.
I know. Because so if you're there in the arena, you can see it all around you. It's like, yeah, it looks packed. packed, but we can only see like the broadcast angle, which is basically the block of seats behind the broadcast camera. So yeah, it was funny. It was a funny story there, but it was a good game. And Raf was really good, I thought, as well. It was his first ever game. He was a bit nervous, bless him, but he smashed it.
Good.
Really, really good.
Like it.
Shall we get to the mailbag, shall we?
Let's do it.
Right, Les, to round out the podcast, every week we get fans to send in their questions, and we had some great questions
crazy.
come in. The first one we got here is this one of your friends, Les, Deshaun Cotman?
Yeah, that's my guy.
How do you know Deshaun Cotman, Les?
It was actually interesting because, I met him maybe about four years ago. He's a trader. I don't know if you know anything about trading. I got into a bit of trading myself.
Oh, like crypto sort of thing?
Yeah, like crypto, Forex, stuff like that. So I met him in a convention. I'm gonna give you the story. This is how I met him. So the friend that introduced us, she knew him, and he'd been killing in the trading. So we was on a London session, we called it at the time, because we was in America and we was up like real late, London session. And she was like, yeah, this guy, he know what he's doing. I was like, okay, we can find out. So we got on the session, and I think I had maybe $50 on my trading account at the time. And we got on the session, we was talking. He was like, look, just sell all the GBPs. I don't know if you're not going to know what that means. He was just like, just sell all of them. I was like, so I looked at her. She was like, do it. I was like, okay. So I sold it, and I maybe put in maybe 40 cents, 50 cents. And the very next morning, I was up $175.
Wow.
So from 40 cents to $175. Whoa. Just from him just telling us to do that one thing.
Should have put more in.
I know, right? I could have been rich. So that was the first meeting. And then we went to a convention in Las Vegas, and that's when I met him in person. And we kind of just developed a little friendship from there. We kept in touch over the years. And that's kind of how I know him. So if anybody's out there interested in learning how to do stuff like that, that's the guy to hit up for sure.
Well, Deshaun's been in touch and has asked the question, apart from basketball, what are your passions or interests, and how do you balance them with your professional career?
My passions, the thing is, my passions are basketball related. Right now it's about helping the younger ones develop. You see, I got my Gifted Athletics shirt on. That's something I started when I was home.
It says scat on the sleeve.
Yeah, but Gifted Athletics, it's something I started when I was home, and I was just taking younger kids who wanted to develop and learn from somebody who had that experience, especially at a high level, with college and obviously playing professional. So I just wanted to help the younger ones, give them a chance by teaching them the skills needed. And so that's really my passion. What was the second part of the question?
And how do you balance them with your professional career?
Right now it's tough because, I am playing basketball, so it's kind of hard to find the time to do that. But that's something that's in the works that we are working on. I am working with Raf and some other people, and we're going to start doing more of that. We are working with Bristol Sport also, and we're going to be a branch off of Bristol Sport for guys who's for the more elite players, because obviously Bristol Sport has more of a grassroots program, but there's guys who may be a bit more advanced. If you look at guys like Louis Tucker, even though he was within the school, he was a lot much better than a lot of his peers. Same with Christian Hill and his boys. Mm-hmm. So we want to look more into those kind of guys who need more of an advanced training. Not saying we're not going to work with the younger ones, the ones who are not as skilled, but we're going to focus more on the elite level players.
That's
amazing.
So good. Like that.
Speaking of Christian Hill, he's actually reached out to us with a question. And I think you've actually already answered this question earlier on in the podcast. He says, ask Leslie why he chooses not to dunk a lot of the time. #layup Leslie.
Don't start that. Christian, do not start that.
Layup Leslie.
Yeah, don't even make that a thing. Obviously, I spoke about it earlier. With the confidence thing, and not playing basketball for that time, not being in that situation, I'm not thinking about it as much.
Yeah.
With the instance in Surrey, I just got frustrated of missing layups that I should have dunked, especially in the last game when I missed all those layups. It was I could have just dunked them.
Yeah.
So I just told myself, if I get the opportunity to do it again, and even Brad, I told Brad, I said, Brad, I'm dunking the next one. And Brad said, he said he's going to do it. When I did it, I heard him say, he said he was going to do it. Shout out to Brad. So yeah, I just, I was just like, man, I can't be fair. It was just a fair thing of not doing it, the reps. Mm-hmm. So I said, man, whatever. I've been doing it all my life, so.
Hey, nothing wrong with a layup. The biggest.
Hey, I just missed them. Okay.
The poster layup. The biggest poster we had this year was a layup by Keedy.
True. He was way up there.
I'll tell you what, that clip now, by the way, that Keedy poster layup, it has like 900,000 views on the Flyers Instagram, and Overtime Europe shared it. It has 4 million views on their channel.
It's crazy, right?
And all the comments are like, why didn't bro just dunk it?
Yeah. See? He didn't think about it.
Yeah.
And he said he's not left. Every time he said I'm not left-handed. I never thought to. If he said it was on the right hand, he would have turned it down.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because it was such a last-minute decision.
You know what I mean?
It was a last-minute decision because he was going to lay it.
Yeah.
Got the boost. Anyway, I got another question here for you, my man. A question from Isabel Joycey. She wants to know, what is your best basketball memory of your career?
Good question. Very good question.
I think it was that moment of me hitting that
The game-winning
shot. Yeah,
Game-winning shot.
Because I actually have that picture in the newspaper, and it's laminated. So my mom has it home. It got a little bit of damage to it because of the hurricanes, but she still has that picture laminated.
Get us that picture, okay?
Yeah,
I want to
like
see.
a fadeaway kind of. Like,
You looking good?
Nice. Yeah, it was a good shot, man. I mean, the play was not designed for me to score. It was just my point guard made the right read, and I was just in position to hit the shot, and the rest is history. But
Steve Kerr vibes.
Steve Kerr vibes.
Yeah. Here's a good question for you. Raphael Thomas Edwards has been in touch. Shout out, Raph. And he says...
The captain.
The Capitan.
Capitano.
Raph Thomas Edwards has been in touch, and he says, rank the Flyers teams that you've been on. That's a hard question.
Why?
That is a good question.
Why? Okay.
How many times were you here before? We just one season
Yeah,
before.
you had 2
The
years.
reason
2 years
why
first.
it's difficult to do that, because obviously last year was the best season we ever had in the Flyers history, right? The years before that, when I was here, it was more of the build-up, So obviously last year was the best team we had. We haven't finished this year. We're still in season now. We have a lot of good players now, don't get me wrong. We're on a great start, but the season is not over yet. So I can't make a decision on this season. Sorry, Raph.
No.
Right? But from my experience, last year was the best team, but I always felt like the year with Hamid Ali was my favorite year.
The London game. Madness in London.
That was my
I remember
favorite year.
That game.
Yes. Coach think my best year was my second year, but my favorite year, the most fun I had was that first year. Even though we had a bad start, the run we went on.
Well, we were 1-11.
Yeah,
we were 1-11 at Christmas. And we brought in Aaron Cosby, and we won 15 of our last 18 league games.
The run we had, it was fun.
crazy.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun, man, and it was a lot of stuff with putbacks. It was just fun, being there. So, me personally, that was my favorite year. The best team I've been on was last year's team, and this one is to be continued so far.
TBC.
Great stuff. Here's a question from Pasquale Landolfi.
I already know what this is.
He says, when's the Twitch channel dropping?
Oh, man.
You're a big gamer, right?
Yeah.
You gotta start a Twitch channel, man.
Obviously, me and P, we play a lot of Apex Legends. I spoke about this last time, but he thinks I'm Predator level. There's a game, like there's levels, there's like Masters and Predators, like the top.
Like top 100 people, basically,
like top
yeah.
750.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's like he thinks I play at that level on the game. So he's like, you need to start a channel, bro. You need to start a channel. Because I'll send him clips of plays I do, and he'd be like, bro, you should be putting this on TikTok. So it's tough because, I mean, like I said, I just haven't done it. I never thought about going live and streaming, and I just play the game for fun, but I am very competitive when I play. So I guess that's what drives me to be a good gamer, but I don't know, man. Maybe soon, Peace. Maybe soon. It's coming, man.
Tell P to set it up for you, and then you'll do it, yeah?
I was trying to get on the show. We here doing a podcast. Maybe I get a little gaming session going. So
We could do it. We could do it.
That's the first one.
We could, maybe, I mean, just Dan's over there sort of nodding, but maybe we sort of cook up like next time we get Les on, get an Elgato hooked up to this screen here with an Xbox, a PlayStation on it.
I might need some help, man.
And the thing is, I feel like if Les was just playing PlayStation whilst we were doing a podcast, he wouldn't be able to concentrate on the questions.
That sounds fun, though.
I might actually play better if people are here watching because it's like a pressure.
Yeah,
pressure.
nice.
And do it live on YouTube.
I actually play well under pressure because, like, okay, for instance, like it's teams of 3. So what happens is that I might be the last one surviving, and I have to fight 3 guys, and I might take them all down. So pressure situations is fine. So I think if people are on my back watching me, it'd be like I might play even better because it's like, okay, now I got to show out, you know. So I mean, maybe that's why he wants me to start the stream, because he's like, you'll be a lot better if you feel that pressure. I don't know. Maybe that's what the whole idea about it is.
Well, watch this space. Maybe we can. I'll have a chat with you after. I might be able to help you get a Twitch channel set up, and we'll see where we go. A couple more questions here. The first one I'm going to read out here, Sam. It's from Tash Puddy, and she just says, "Can you give Alice Stepney, in brackets your number 1 fan, a shout out for her birthday?" Alice Stepney.
Alice Stepney. When is her birthday?
I don't know. She hasn't said when her birthday is, but if it's
today,
let's say. I mean, it might be today.
What's the name?
Alice Stepney.
Alice Stepney. Happy birthday. Hope you have a wonderful day. The sun was out. I hope you went out and enjoyed some of that sunlight. I did. Hope you have a wonderful day, whether it's today, tomorrow, the day after this. Have a great birthday, and I hope everybody treats you like a queen.
Amazing.
That's so good.
I swear it was raining yesterday. Was it not raining?
No, but today's on about.
Today was
lovely
her birthday. It was a lovely
and
day.
sunny.
I got some sun, some coffee. It was a good day today.
Okay, we got one more question for you. Schnackman Matt.
Are you aware of Schnackman Matt? He's a bit of a character here on the podcast now. He works in the supporter services team here at Bristol Sport. He's the voice on the end of the telephones that you always hear. And he's actually on holiday in Egypt right now, isn't he, Sam?
Yeah, he basically has been delivering snacks to all the players. He comes and chats about stuff. He came on the podcast with
Tijon Lucas.
Tijon. He wants to know, what is your favourite snack? And he's asking.
He said, what is your favourite holiday snack?
Holiday snack, as he is in Egypt right now on holiday.
Snack. I don't know if I have a holiday snack. See, when I'm home, it's bad. I snack really bad, man.
Yeah.
There's this thing called combos. I love combos. I don't think they have them here.
Combos?
Yeah.
Combos.
What is it, like a fast food?
It's like small little pretzels
Oh, okay.
with cheese inside.
No, never tried them. No, don't have them here.
They have like different flavors,
You're
like
not
cheddar.
bringing us any.
Hey man, look, I keep them for myself.
Hey, next time you come on the podcast, mate.
They
you
don't
bring us
have
some
them here in
combos.
the UK.
No,
We'll find them, mate.
You know
Amazon.
where it has them? When I was in London, I guess there's like this candy place. It's like a huge. They import like snacks and different chips and stuff from America, and I saw them in there. It was quite costly. It was like £8.
Oh yeah, you got to pay for the
I forgot
import on
the
them
name.
and stuff as well.
So it was like £8. I got 2 bags. I said I needed these.
Not a waste
You're
of
the
money.
sucker. That's why their business works, man.
Right. So combos, Doritos. When I'm home, like I can't stop eating those. Right. And then here is like the double stuffed Oreos, man. I got to put them down.
There we go, double stuffed Oreos.
Yeah,
They are a go-to. Great stuff. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap up this week's episode of the Flyers podcast. Les, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Part 2.
There's always a space for you here on the podcast. We're talking about getting a podcast where the players host it one week. Are you down for that?
Yeah, something we could look into. See who else will want to join.
I'll be quite nervous about giving you guys the reins of the podcast to talk about whatever you want. Maybe what I do is I put like a bucket in the middle of the table and like you guys have
topics.
like topics and you just reach out when things, let's talk about something. Bosh, talk about it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe we'll do that. That'd be quite cool.
That'd be serious.
Yeah.
We'll get that sorted.
Gotta work on my introduction skills.
Yeah.
Not as good as you guys.
Or maybe we introduce it and just run off.
That'd be cool too.
Sit next to Dan. All right, here you go, and we'll see you later.
That'd be cool. Let's do this. Let's do it.
Yeah. Speaking of see you later, we'll see you guys later on a future episode of the Bristol Flyers podcast. We need to chat about next week's show because you guys are in Poland, Sam. So watch this space. But until then, thanks so much to our partners at WebGains. Is there anything else that you want to add, Sam?
Do you know what? Weirdly, there is this week.
Oh, go on.
I want to know what the name of a fully stacked baseball thing is that we didn't get the answer from Dan earlier.
Yeah.
So when you get the
home
see,
run.
everyone's in there and then they get the home run. What's that called?
That is called a grand slam.
Grand Slam. Yeah,
Slam.
that's Brad. Brad is set up. He's the one that does that.
And
I can see that. I can see that.
And that is your Bristol Flyers podcast stat of the week. It seems like a little thing we've been doing now, just getting a random stat or fact.
I like it.
Producer Dan coming in as always. Cool, great stuff. Well, time for us to wrap it up. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, podcasts, all major podcast providers, all that jazz. But until then, thanks to WebGains, our sponsor of the Bristol Flyers podcast. Until then, we'll see you same time next week right here on the Bristol Flyers podcast.